I'd been looking forward to this movie. I know it's a weird one. I mean, not everybody was looking forward to it, but I was because I'm a fan of the stars and I'm a fan of the original movie that this is sort of connected to. But yeah, it's really strange to have a movie come out in 2023 without a shred of cynicism. Let's talk about Wonka. With dreams of opening a shop in a city renowned for its chocolate, a young and poor Willy Wonka discovers that the industry is run by a cartel of greedy chocolatiers. The movie stars Timothée Chalamet, Calah Lane, Olivia Colman, and Hugh Grant. Wonka was written by Simon Farnaby and directed by Paul King, and both of them were responsible for Paddington 2, which, look, it has a pretty high rating on Rotten Tomatoes, so I was really looking forward to seeing what they would do with Wonka. They lean heavily into that this is sort of a predecessor to the Willy Wonka we see in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder from 1971. Due to the heavy use, I will say, of pure imagination and the Oompa Loompa song, some of the design choices are very inspired by that original movie. So, yeah, it's kind of a prequel. But let's talk about some of the great things about this movie, the stuff that I really, really enjoyed. Let's start with the acting. And I think first off, you have to talk about Calah Lane as Noodle. I think she was really great. But the only thing that I will say is that I felt like the character of Noodle needed to be a little more wide eyed and a little less worldly, I guess, is really the only way that I can say it. I felt like her performance was restrained. And I'm not sure if she was doing that or if that was something that was a directed thing, like was the director saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, that's a little too much. Let's bring it back a little." I don't know. That's what it felt. It felt restrained. There are a ton of character actors in this movie, and I didn't mention a whole lot of them, but I am going to mention two: Olivia Colman and Hugh Grant. I think both of them really chewed this movie up, and they really, really had a lot of fun. In fact, make sure you watch the credits. I mean, it's pretty obvious because the credits start and then things start to happen. So, but yeah, it's really fun. But when it really comes down to it, it all hinges on Timothée Chalamet and his performance, and I think he does a fantastic job. Like he's charming, he's wonderful, he's a little goofy, and I love it. I think he did a great job, and I was really worried. When I saw that he was cast as this part, I was like, can he let go of almost this very cool demeanor that he shows in a lot of things? I mean, can he be goofy? Can he be childlike in that way? And yeah, I will say yes, he can do that, and it made me even a bigger fan than I already was of Timothée Chalamet. I mean, look, I think he's great. Again, I have to mention though, there are moments where I kind of feel like he needed to be more explosive, right? I mean, he goes for it. He goes for it a lot in this movie, and I really applaud him for that. But I feel like there was more. There was another level that could have brought him up to that energy level that we see from Gene Wilder at times in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The real star of the movie, though, I mean, when it really comes down to it, is just the world that they've created, the set design, the costume design, and just really I'm just going to say it, the pure imagination on display is really, really fun to see. I know that was terrible. I probably should cut that. Nope, not doing it. Anyway, there's a lot of really fun callbacks to that original classic, right? I mean, it's just a lot of fun. Now let's talk about the story. And with the story, there comes the fact that this really is more of a musical than I feel even the original is. I mean, I know the original has a lot of songs in it too, but wow, there's a lot of songs here. And what happens is whenever a song is playing, the momentum of the script it grinds to a halt. And that's kind of unfortunate. It makes the film feel longer than it actually is. There have been some that say that Chalamet's singing is bad. I didn't think it was bad. I mean, I think he could have, I don't think he's a natural singer, but I didn't think he was bad at all. I mean, that's just my opinion, but yeah, I didn't think it was bad at all. But it's a big part of the story. And what also was really kind of strange to me, or I guess just unexpected, was that it was very somber at times. Like a lot more somber than I expected. Like it's not, like I said, not cynical, but just almost bittersweet, I guess, in a way. And look, I'll just tell you, I cried multiple times in the movie. But I'm also a big softie. So probably most people are probably going to go in this movie and go, wait, where was he crying? It just happens. Okay. I'm just that guy. But yeah, what it really comes down to is the early 70s. If you look at the movies of the early 70s, there was a lot of cynicism. And I feel like there was a lot of that in the original movie. And this doesn't have a shred of that. And maybe that's part of the reason why, in a weird kind of way, even though these are supposed to be connected and, related, sometimes I just don't feel it. It's so hopeful and so like cloyingly sweet at times that I think it might be overbearing to a lot of people. Like there's going to be some people that are like, no, this is way over the top and no. So I'm not even going to say that if you don't like the movie that you're some cynical Grinch or something like that. I just, because even I was sitting there going, whoa, that's a lot. And also the other thing is I just felt like I said, I felt like it needed a little punch, I mean, like, let's get nuts here.
Come on, let's get nuts.
And if you've seen the original movie, the Gee Wilder version of Willy Wonka is, I'm just going to say it, a little like unhinged, right? And I don't think that's just the cynicism of the age. I think there was a little bit of like, okay, this guy's a little nuts. And it was one of the things that was so attractive to me as a kid. It was like, is this guy gonna put a smile on my face, or is he gonna scare the bejesus out of me? And that's the thing. I don't think Chalamet's version of Willy Wonka and Gene Wilder's version, they don't feel like the same character most of the time. But look, overall, I had a great time, and my wife did too. She said that after the movie, she said there were times where I was like, her face was hurting because she realized that she'd been smiling for like 30 minutes. I mean, it's just really fun. But one thing I am curious about is that because of the slow parts, like, are kids going to get bored watching this? Because it's clearly made for, more of a childlike sensibility. But come on, kids, right? That's what this movie's for. So I'm kind of curious how they're going to take it. So, Wonka, what did you think of it if you went and saw it? I mean, I'm sure there's probably going to be many comments that are like, nah, I'm not going to go watch that. And that's fine. But for those of you that did, what'd you think? Let's talk about it. That's what the comments are for. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.